'Twas Christmas tide in Germany, and in the year of 1850, and in the city of Berlin, which is most beautiful to the eye, a poor boy was heard, calling out to passers-by, "Who'll buy my pretty figures?" Loudly he did cry, "Plaster of Paris figures!" But no one inclined to buy. His clothes were thin, and he was nearly frozen with cold, and wholly starving with hunger, a pitiful sight to behold. And the twilight was giving place to the shadows of approaching night, and those who possessed a home were seeking its warmth and light. And the market square was dark, and he began to moan, when he thought of his hungry brother and sisters at home. Alas, the poor boy was afraid to go home. Oh, heaven! Hard was his lot, for money he'd none, and the tears coursed down his cheeks, while loudly he did cry, "Buy my plaster of Paris figures! Oh, please come by!" It was now quite dark, while he stood there, and the passers-by did at the poor boy stare, as he stood shivering with cold in the market square, and with the falling snow he was almost frozen to the bone, and what would it avail him, standing there alone? Therefore he must make up his mind to return home. Then he tried to hoist the board and figures onto his head, and for fear of letting the board fall, he was in great dread. Then he struggled manfully forward without delay, but alas! He fell on the pavement, oh horror and dismay! And his beautiful figures were broken and scattered around him, and at the sight thereof his eyes grew dim. And when he regained his feet, he stood speechless, like one bowed down. Then the poor boy did fret and frown. Then the almost despairing boy cried aloud, and related his distress to the increasing crowd. Oh, what a pitiful sight on a Christmas Eve! But the dense crowd didn't the poor boy relieve, until a poor woodcutter chanced to come along, and he asked of the crowd what was wrong. And 20 ready tongues tells him the sad tale, and when he heard it, the poor boy's fate he did bewail, and he cried, "Here! Something must be done, and quickly too. Do you hear, every blessed soul of you? Come, each one give a few pence to the poor boy, and it will help to fill his heart with joy." Then the woodcutter gave a golden coin away, so the crowd subscribed largely without delay, which made the poor boy's heart feel gay. Then the woodcutter thanked the crowd and went away. So the poor boy did a large subscription receive, and his brother, mother, and sisters had a happy Christmas Eve, and he thanked the crowd and God that to him the money sent, and bade the crowd good night, then went home content.